Once in a small town there lived a poor cobbler. He earned a simple living by repairing old shoes. Though he had little money, he was always cheerful and full of life. Every morning as he worked on worn-out shoes, his happy songs filled the air. His life was simple, but his heart was light, and he had everything he needed to be content. Not far from the cobbler's small house, there was a large mansion owned by a very rich man. This man had more wealth than he could ever spend in his lifetime. However, he was not happy. At night, he would toss and turn in bed, unable to sleep because of his constant worries about his riches. He feared someone might steal his money, and this thought never left his mind. One sleepless night, the rich man heard the cobbler's cheerful singing. He was surprised and wondered, how can someone so poor be so happy? The next day he decided to visit the cobbler to find out his secret. When the rich man arrived, the cobbler was busy fixing an old shoe. The rich man greeted him and said, "You always seem so happy. Tell me, what is the secret of your happiness?" The cobbler smiled and replied, "There's no secret, sir. I'm happy because I have enough. My work gives me just enough money to buy food, and that's all I need. Life is simple and I am content." The rich man was puzzled. How can this man with so little be so happy while I, with all my wealth, am so unhappy? He thought. The rich man decided to test the cobbler's happiness to understand it better. He placed a heavy bag of gold coins on the cobbler's table and said, "Here, take this as a gift. You work hard and you deserve more than just enough. This money will make your life easier." The cobbler was shocked. He had never seen so much gold in his life. "Thank you, sir," he said, holding the bag tightly and feeling its weight. That night, for the first time, the cobbler did not sing. Instead, he sat at his table, staring at the bag of gold. The thought of so much money made him anxious. As the days passed, the cobbler's happiness began to fade. He stopped singing while working because he was worried someone might hear and discover his newfound wealth. He hid the bag of gold in his home but could not sleep at night, fearing that thieves might break in to steal it. The cobbler, who once lived a carefree and happy life, was now filled with anxiety and distrust. Even his work began to suffer because his mind was always busy thinking about the gold. Finally, the cobbler decided he could no longer live like this. He picked up the bag of gold and went to the rich man's house. "Sir," he said, placing the bag on the table, "please take back your gold. Since you gave it to me, I have lost my peace. I no longer sing and my days are full of worry. I don't want this burden. I would rather have my simple life and happiness back." The rich man was silent for a moment. Then he nodded and said, "You have taught me an important lesson today. Happiness is not about having more money, but about being content with what you have." The cobbler left the mansion feeling free and happy once again. That evening, the townspeople heard his cheerful singing as he worked on shoes. This story teaches us an important lesson. True happiness does not come from money or possessions. It comes from being content with what we have and living a simple, peaceful life. The cobbler was happy because he had peace of mind, while the rich man, despite all his wealth, was unhappy because he lacked contentment. When we chase after material wealth, we risk losing the joy of living in the present moment. Instead of always wanting more, we should focus on appreciating the little things that truly make life meaningful: peace, simplicity, and gratitude.